Hello guys, this is Av Cycling, and my name is Lewis, by the way. This is my new channel, and it will be focusing on road cycling because I recently got back into it. I used to do a little bit of road cycling and mountain biking back when I was stationed in Hawaii a few years ago. And when I moved to, or got stationed here in Colorado, I kind of just stopped doing it. I don't know why. It's kind of weird because Colorado is a really good state for, you know, outdoor activities such as road cycling and mountain biking especially. So for whatever reason, I stopped. And so because of this whole COVID-19 thing and me being in the military and all that, to keep myself in shape and not get fat while being here at home, I decided to get back into road cycling because, you know, me and my girl Hayden can go out there and ride our bikes and stuff like that and be away from everyone and not really harm anyone, anything like that, or spread any kind of infection with anyone. So we started doing that. I used to own a Giant Defy Elux 3, I believe, or 1, I don't know. All I know is it had a Sora group set on there, and it was an aluminum frame bike, and I think it was the 2016 or 2015 model. So I recently sold that to fund my new bike, which I'm about to show you guys. And keep in mind, we will do a little cinematic video of this bike, probably one of the next few videos, because it's a little bright in the day right now to get some good footage of the bike. So we'll have to wait until at least the early morning or late evening when the light's just right to, you know, get some good shots of it. But for now, we're gonna kind of talk through what is on the bike and let you guys see the bike. Another thing about this channel is I kind of wanted to, you know, show you guys that you can have like an average bike and still go out and have fun, stuff like that. Some of you guys might think it's average, some of you guys might not think it's an average bike, but to me, in terms of some of the other people out there who have more thousands and thousands of dollar expensive bikes, mine is pretty average in that comparison. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my bike. So here is my Giant Defy. This is a 2019 Giant Defy Advanced 2. It has a carbon frame, which is nice because back in 2016, it felt like to get an entry-level bike that was carbon fiber was kind of a little unheard of or pretty expensive. I don't know, but now just this difference in these years that have gone by, the price has changed significantly, you know, where you can actually afford, you know, carbon fiber frame bike. So the fork is carbon fiber and the whole frame is carbon fiber, as well as the seat post. This does have disc brakes all around, and the group set that this comes with is 105, so 105 shifters, 105 rear and front derailleurs. The cassette is 105, I believe, or some variant of Shimano. The crank isn't 105 though. That's the one thing that's different. It is just a regular Shimano crank, which I don't know if that makes a difference, but it does suck that it's not 105. But oh well. I am coming from a bike that had the Sora group set. That was a 2016 Sora group set, if that makes any sense. My girl Hayden has a Specialized Elise that has a more current version of the Sora group set, and that felt completely different than my 2015 or 16 Giant Defy's Sora group set. Hers felt a lot more smoother, and it just felt different. It didn't feel like the same group set, and that just kind of shows that sometimes, you know, some of these group sets, they trickle down the technology to the next generation is better than the previous. So yeah, I have a couple things I've done to the bike is I've installed this ancient bike computer. It's not no Woohoo or Garmin or anything like that. It's just a Cat-Eye Urban Wireless bike computer. Nothing special. It's what I had on my previous Giant Defy, and I just put it on this one. This is mainly a secondary source of, you know, getting some readings and stuff, just in case my phone or Strava like crashes or something. Then I have a backup that's still, you know, recording some of my distance or time or whatever I set it for. So in the future, I may upgrade to one of the new school cool computers, but for now, this does just fine, and you can't beat the price. Anyways, so a couple things I've done to the bike I've added obviously are these bottle cages. The bike, when you get it, doesn't come with any. So I went on Amazon because my previous Giant Defy, I bought these nice glossy carbon fiber bottle cages on Amazon for fairly cheap. They're like 25 bucks for a pair. And so I went back on there, and this time I found these matte carbon fiber bottle cages, which I thought would go really well with the kind of matte gray that this bike has, going on. So I kind of wanted a matte carbon fiber bottle cage if they had it. So these were about, I think, 25 bucks for the pair. I will post a link in the description for all the products that I talk about in this video, so if you guys are interested in them, you guys can go buy them. Yeah, these are real carbon fiber, and I know that because I do come from, modifying cars and stuff like that, and that's what my other YouTube channel is. I deal with, installing stuff on my car, and I do have a lot of carbon fiber stuff on my car, so I pretty much know what I'm talking about when it comes to carbon fiber, if that makes any sense. So these are real carbon fiber. They're really light, they're very sturdy. They hold my Camelback Podium bottle just fine, no issues, it's very snug. The only thing you may run into is probably rubbing, but a lot of these are gonna rub the graphics on these bottles anyway. But so far I don't think it will, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that it may. One of the things I did buy for this bike were these carbon fiber handlebar end plugs. So these are made by Giant Cycling, and they're on Amazon as well. And they're like a matte carbon fiber as well, and I really like these. So I will show you a picture of what they look like when they're not installed, because I already have them installed on my bike. But they have like a little rubber plug that once you start turning this Allen key, it expands the rubber plug that's in here on this thing, and so it grips the inside of your handlebar, and it keeps this snug, and it's not going to fall out. So if you guys are familiar with the ones that come with the bike, I always end up losing them. So my old bike, my old Giant Defy, these were missing. I didn't even realize they fell out. But over time, sometimes these will fall out, and I just don't like them because they're just this cheap plastic, and they're chrome when the whole bike is pretty much dark. These things just stick out so brightly. So got rid of those and kind of kept with the dark kind of carbon fiber theme, I guess, and found these for a reasonable price. I believe these were like $10 on Amazon. As you guys can see, this is real carbon fiber. It's pretty thick carbon fiber as well, and it's flat, so I mean it still looks good with the bike. I didn't really care if it was round dome shaped like the one that came with the bike. I think this looks just fine, and I think it looks really nice with the rest of the bike, being kind of dark and black and stuff like that. So it kind of adds on to that, and kind of matches with the bottle cages that are matte carbon fiber. A few complaints I do have about the bike. It's just kind of how ugly this front converter thing that Giant put on the front of this bike that holds like the wires and then the fluids and stuff for the brakes. It's kind of obnoxious, but you kind of get used to it, and it's fine because it's kind of whatever, pointed, so it is kind of arrow still in the way, but I just kind of think it's a little obnoxious having that in the front. I'm really enjoying this bike, and I've ridden it, I want to say about like 40 miles so far total on this bike, and I'm just enjoying it. I mean, it comes with tubeless tires. The tires are probably going to be the heaviest thing on the bike, I would have to say. And if you want to make this bike a lot lighter, because I felt like this wasn't that much lighter than my old Giant that was an aluminum frame, because I think the tires were, smaller, and the rims were a lot smaller. But these come with like this really tall wall right here, and it's pretty cool because it's like semi-aero, I guess, in a way, because you got a combination of this bigger tire and more material in here. The tires are probably pretty heavy, so eventually one day, or if you guys want to, I would say the first thing to make this bike really light is get rid of these rims and get some carbon fiber ones from either Mavic or, you know, all the other various brands out there. And I guarantee you that this bike will be pretty light. Reason why I went with this bike is, I don't know if I mentioned it already, is I got a really good price on this bike. It was between this or Canyon, and I know a lot of people say they'll go for Canyon, but I've heard some few bad things about Canyon. But it wasn't really that did it. It was just this one was that much cheaper than the Canyon that had the same stuff, 105 stuff on it. And this one was just, you know, that much cheaper, and it was local, so I could just go and pick it up. So that's why I ended up going with this. It is an endurance bike, and a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't have racing geometry, it's so like giant head tube and all this other stuff. But to me, I barely pay attention to that kind of stuff, really. I'm just here to ride, and I don't really care about, you know, race geometry, this geometry or not. I really just care about, you know, getting a good workout, and, you know, if you got strong legs, it don't matter what you ride, you will be pretty much good, you know. So I'm not really that kind of person that like focuses on that kind of shit. So, you know, it's a bike to me. And it's a pretty good universal bike for whatever you want to do. And most of the time, I just like to go ride distance. So an endurance bike just fit my needs, and I don't need any kind of race bike or anything like that. If you want it to be kind of more racy, because the geometry on this one isn't as super relaxed as the previous generation. It actually kind of looks semi-sporty. Then just raise up the seat, lower the stem, drop it, whatever. I had the stem dropped a lot more than this, but then I raised it back up a little bit just to be more comfortable and not have any issues with, you know, my saddle and stuff like that, or, you know, moving around. Along with that product I show you guys, I'm going to show you guys another thing that I ordered, and I think everyone should have, is a multi-tool. Because for me, I got tired of like scrounging through all my Allen keys to find the correct ones I needed. So I went ahead and got this, I think it's Marque Cycling or Marque Cycling. This is on Amazon. And look at the size of this. This is very small, very light. You can fit it in the back of your jersey pocket. And yeah, it's a lot more slimmer than what other ones I saw on Amazon. The ones on Amazon were pretty bulky, and I was just like, I don't want to carry that in my jersey. And this one has, you know, pretty much all you need, all the common Allen key sizes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of show you guys. Okay, so you know, you got your 5, I think it's 5mm Allen key. Your 5mm Allen key. You fold that back down. Then you have things like, actually, we'll just fold them all up and make it easier. And then next you have, you know, cross-tip screwdriver, a little small one. Then, and I apologize if it's not focusing, then you got your flat tip screwdriver. Then you got a Torx bit, a T25. Then you have your 6mm Allen key. Then you have a 2mm Allen key. Then a 3. Then you have your fairly common 4mm Allen key. And that is pretty much all you're really gonna need. I'm pretty sure there might be, I don't know, these cuts on the side might be for something, these little indentions on the side. I think you use it as a bottle opener or something, or they might serve as something else. But I really like this because it's just so small. I mean, look at this. It's very flat and like sleek. And it's very light, so like, you know, probably weighs about what a candy bar weighs or so, I don't know. But yeah, if you guys are looking to get one, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies that I've showed in this video. It's just these are products that I'm using or bought, and I think they're really good for the price. the price point and stuff, and just it being on Amazon is just that much easier. So I know a lot of us like to sometimes shop on Amazon because of the convenience of it, and this is one of those companies on there I would stand by. It's a really good product, and I've used it today to tighten down whatever I needed, like my seat post, my handlebars, and a few other things on the bike before I rolled out, because I was messing with the bike and adjusting stuff the other day. So I used this, make sure everything was tight, and it was really good. So yeah, if you guys are looking at getting one, all the links to all the products I've showed in this video are in the description. Sorry, one other thing before we go is helmet I'm using. I thought I'd cover this. This is just a Giant helmet. I feel like it's just a rebadged Giro helmet by Giant. But this had a visor that goes on the front. You can unclip it from the sides right here and it comes off. So that way it's kind of more of like a road bike style of helmet instead of like looking like a mountain bike kind of helmet with a big, visor and stuff. So I don't really know what this was meant for, if it was just a universal type of helmet. But I've just kind of stuck with this helmet. I got this back in like 2016, and I've stuck with this helmet because I like the way it's shaped. It doesn't look too big on the side or too bulbous looking, and I don't know, it looks semi-sleek. Might not be that sleek as some of the other brands, but I just don't like anything overly complicated, and especially some of the prices out there for some of those helmets are kind of ridiculous. So this is, I believe, it was pretty cheap. I want to say it was like $50 something maybe or so, or 40 something. But yeah, it's I've had it for this long, and it's really nice. I like the way it is. But anyways, see you guys in my next video, and hopefully you guys like the channel.